Hi, Andy XL back with my latest NFXL podcast. Continuing on my look through all 32 teams in the state of the franchise address, if you like, after the end of the 2025 season as we head into the off season and what they might need to do to build their team for the next season. So, halfway through, as I get to the 16th team, and this is the second team that I've covered that don't have a first round draft pick this time round, it's the Indianapolis Colts. So the question here is, was it a glass half full or a half empty season for the Colts? The half full way to look at it is that they were at 8-5 with Daniel Jones at quarterback. So it could be argued would have been a 10 or 11 win team if he had not got injured in week 14. The half empty is to say that they lost their 7 games to blow lost 7 games to blow a great chance of making the postseason, having gone 8-2 before their bye week. This off-season could well decide if we see something like the first 10-week Colts or the post-bye week Colts in 2026. So, at quarterback, the Colts have some cap space to work with, but that could quickly disappear if they re-sign Daniel Jones, which seems likely to happen given the noises coming out of Indianapolis. If he does get a big shiny new contract, he ceases to be the nice bounce back story he was in 2025 and becomes a quarterback that has to deliver postseason football for his team going forward. Anthony Richardson and Riley Leonard will compete for the Colts depth chart spots at quarterback and back up to to Jones, I should say. Right, running back. Jonathan Taylor had his best year since he last played a full season without getting hurt in 2021. But his season went a bit like the Colts season. He averaged 140 scrimmage yards a game and had 17 touchdowns in the first 10 games. But inverted commas, just 81 yards a game and 3 touchdowns in the last 7 games. Now, most running backs would settle for that sort of level of production after the bye. But compared to his pre-bye performances, it was a definite drop-off. Now, Taylor's under contract for a while, but with Amir Abdullah, Tyler Goodson, and Salvon Ahmed all hitting free agency this off-season, it could create room to add a running back to take some of the workload off Taylor next season and possibly allow him to keep his numbers up through a whole season and have something left in the tank for the postseason should they get there. A wide receiver, Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, and Josh Downs combined for 2,351 yards and 17 touchdowns last season. The Colts would love to retain the same trio for next season, but that will involve finding cap space or franchise tag, possibly, to pay the now free agent Alec Pierce. But the Colts are saying they don't want a franchise tag either Daniel Jones or Alec Pierce, so they appear to be wanting to find the money to pay him. Pierce led the team in receiving yardage and had 6 of those 17 touchdowns. They also have little depth behind those three, so even if Pierce is back, spending a draft pick or two on wide receivers might be a good idea. At tight end, Tyler Warren, I should say, had a great rookie season, so the Colts have their starting tight end. Backups Mo Ali Cox and Andrew Ogletree are free agents who the Colts need to make a call on bringing back or not. But with Warren in place, this is not a position that needs a lot of attention this off-season. Let's have a look at the O-line. The O-line allowed Taylor to thrive and also protected quarterbacks well last season. PFF had Bernard Raymond as the 12th ranked tackle last season, Quentin Nelson 4th best guard with Matt Goncalves 33rd ranked at that position, and Tanner Bortolini as the number 3 ranked center. And it would be harsh to call the other tackle, Braden Smith, a weak link. But Smith is the free agent of this group this off-season and has played in 35 games across the last 3 seasons. In effect, missing a season's worth of games in that time. So it could well be that he is a cap casualty here, especially as last year's 4th draft pick Jalen Travis played well when Smith missed time last season. At defensive tackle, Grover Stewart, DeForest Buckner, Neville Gallimore, and Adetomiya Adebawore shared duties at the heart of the Colts D line last season. This quartet provided 12 sacks, 2 quarterback hits, and contributed to the Colts ranking 10th against the run last season. Gallimore is the only free agent of this quartet and at the right price may well be back, meaning little attention needs to be given to defensive tackle this off-season, although all the other 3 will be free agents at the end of the 2026 season. So maybe replacing Gallimore via the draft to have a succession plan in place for Stewart and or Buckner would make sense too. as would me taking a sip of coffee to stop my throat going croaky. Right, let's have a look at their edge rushers. Apart from the 8.5 sacks from Latu, the Colts did not offer a great pass rushing threat from the edge last season. Quitty Pay had a down year in his contract year and will be another free agent decision the Colts have to make. If they can find cap space to allow them a choice in the matter, that is. Samson Ubercombe and Tyquan Lewis are also free agents this offseason, so we could certainly expect the Colts to be active in making changes at this position, regardless of whether Pay is back or not. And they probably might look to revamp that pass rush unit to make it better next season. Inside linebacker, Jermaine Pratt was a really good addition for the Colts here last season, but Zaire Franklin did not have a great year. Both these guys were much better against the run than the pass, and there does seem to be a need to add speed in pass coverage at inside linebacker for the Colts for next season. They also lack depth at the position, so this could be a position the Colts look to augment this offseason in terms of depth. Safety, Nick Cross and Cam Bynum did well for him last term. Cross will need retaining as his rookie deal has expired, so more money is going to be needed found there. And with depth guys George Odom and Rodney Thomas both hitting free agency, replacing one or both of them may be on the Colts to-do list too. But they look good in terms of starting safeties as long as Cross is back. Cornerback, the concussion-plagued Shardarius Ward, Mekhi Blackburn and Kenny Moore were joined by Sauce Gardner at cornerback last season. Ward and Gardner had missed multiple games in the second half of the season when the Colts went on that long losing run. And like I say, sounds like Ward might be back, but that concussion thing might be a real concern going forward, both personally and for the Colts. And the Colts gave up the second most yardage in the passing game last season too. A lot of that in those final 7 games. With all of these back for next season, plus last year's third-round pick Justin Wally hopefully back from injury, the Colts look pretty stacked at cornerback, to be honest, and have no need to make any moves in this area. Special teams. Spencer Schrader started the season as the Colts kicker and Blake Grupe finished it. The Colts will have to choose between the returning from injury Schrader or the now free agent Grupe for next season. A nice call to make considering Grupe did not miss a kick for them with a long of 60 and Schrader only missed one, making them a combined 24 of 25 for field goals and 24 of 24 for extra points. And Rigoberto Sanchez will continue as their punter. They may well look for a kick returner this off-season, though. So let's sum up where the Colts are and what they need to do. In a division where the Texans and Jags look set to be good teams again in 2026, and the Titans can only improve on their 2025 season, the Colts are going to need to find improvement themselves to get to the postseason next term. And these are what I see as the key areas or moves they need to see that improvement come from. Daniel Jones needs to be re-signed and then play to at least the level he did produce in 2025, possibly more. Add to your pass rushing group and retain Quitty Pay if possible cap-wise. Add inside linebackers that are good in pass coverage. A better running back too has to be added in support of Jonathan Taylor to prevent him running out of steam late in the season. Re-sign Alec Pierce and add depth at wide receiver. Draft a defensive tackle for succession planning purposes. With up to 8 additions needed this off-season and no first-round draft pick to work with, the Colts are unlikely to be able to tick off all of the above requirements with limited cap space. But the first 3 look absolute must if the Colts are to overhaul the Texans and Jags next season. So it's going to be an interesting season for the postseason. Postseason, off season. That's the word I'm looking for the Colts, and they really need to get it right because the Texans and the Jags are up in the ante here in this division. So a big off season for the Colts if they're to challenge for the divisional title next time round. Right, that's as I say halfway through the 32 teams now. So next up on the list of the Detroit Lions, another team that will have come out of last season disappointed. So look for that one coming up soon. Take care now.